I've been so anxious and upset that we in Congress, we never get a chance to debate the policy of should we still be in war or not in war. So I decided to put this House Concurrent Resolution 107 in before I even knew about Senator Sessions and Secretary of Defense Panetta. And I would like to read two quotes that I think give so much credibility to what we're trying to do with this resolution. One is from Vice President Dick Cheney. When we went into Iraq, which was an unnecessary war, I came out against it. And Vice President Cheney made the statement that I want to read to your listeners. The President does not need authorization from Congress before launching a military offensive. That was Dick Cheney during the Bush administration. Now let me read to you candidate Obama in 2007, and these are his words. The President does not have power under the Constitution to unilaterally authorize a military attack in a situation that does not involve stopping an actual immediate threat to the nation. That's exactly what I'm saying with this resolution. If we are attacked, then the President does have the authority based on the Constitution. But he does not have the constitutional power just to make a decision, well, I don't like the dictator in Libya, so we're going to go there and bomb him. We need to go back to the Constitution, and this will help Congress be more involved in the debate when we go to war.
Well said, Congressman. Of course, Senator Sessions said that he almost lost his breath whenever he kept saying to Panetta over and over again, the Secretary of Defense last week, sir, you know Congress is over the war powers and you do need our authorization. And Panetta would say, no, we get that from the UN. So for me, this is beyond the constitutional question of a president launching wars without congressional approval. We know that's a high crime. It's in the Constitution. A 5-year-old that can read can see that. That's a no-brainer, because why even have Congress if that's the case? If the president can do whatever he wants, you've got to have checks and balances. But to go further and say we're getting the authority from foreign governments in the UN, I mean, that's like being a foreign agent of a foreign power, sir.
Alex, it is not acceptable. We have a Constitution like we have a Bible, and the Constitution says that Congress will declare war. That is why I've been so upset, and I mentioned to you just a moment ago my history on this whole issue that went back to President Clinton in Bosnia in 1999. For too long, Congress has been a spectator in the debate on war. And when you see the amount of money that we spend, and more important than the money, the number of kids who had died and lost their legs, their arms, that the American people should get behind. And I'm pleased to tell you today, I was honored to be on your show, that we have had calls since Friday of last week that we have heard from people in 49 different states who have called and said, thank you, Congressman Jones. We want to help you get this resolution to the floor of the House and get this thing passed. And I want to thank you again for this opportunity.
Well, I want to thank you, sir. Now, he's already launched the Libya war last year, and Congress said, you got to get our approval. By the way, we're for it. The majority said, just come to us. And Obama put that letter out, as you know, sir, because I saw you speak about it at the time, saying, I don't need you. I don't have to look at the constitutional question. It was a quote on TV, but his letter said it. I have the UN, and I'm doing this for their credibility. That's a quote. So he's saying, I'm stating and setting the precedent that the UN's the boss. The Congress has been handing over its authority, but still doesn't mean that it's legitimate. And I'm not criticizing what you've done. It's measured. You know, you're saying, hey, do it again, or if another president does it, period, we're going to start impeachment. But what about somebody like Ron Paul? Wouldn't that be a good constitutional move, but also a campaign move for, say, Ron Paul to try to introduce articles of impeachment for the Libya fiasco, which they now admit has been a disaster and given al-Qaeda footholds in areas of Libya?
Well, I have publicly endorsed Ron Paul. I am a big supporter of Ron Paul's, and I do agree with him totally, and you made mention of this. We tried. What happened was our own Republican leadership, Alex, would not allow a weak resolution to condemn what the president had done in Libya. He wouldn't even allow Republicans to bring it to the floor. I was so disappointed in our leadership, Republican leadership, because they just sat back, and like I was saying a while ago, they became spectators. We have got to fight to defend the constitutional right of the Congress to declare war, and this is a step in that direction. we will get a hearing, I hope, in the Judiciary Committee. And we need to hold a hearing on this whole issue of Congress and war. And this is a start. This resolution is a major step in that direction.
Well said, Congressman. What can we do to help move this legislation through the House and get it passed?
If your listeners would call them members of the United States House of Representatives, and I hope soon we'll have a senator to introduce the same legislation. But right now, if your listeners would call them members of Congress and say, please co-sponsor H-Con Resolution 107. All they have to do is to call their member of Congress or email them or fax them and just say, please join in this House effort to bring back the constitutional authority of Congress to be involved when it comes to debating war.